In this episode, I talk about the week I spent using AI as a filmmaker. Did it make me better, more efficient? Did I make $1 million jillion? Stick around and find out. I'll be the first to admit that after making my video about the AI apocalypse, link in the description, that there was almost zero AI used to create it. It was just me clowning around and poking at everyone who was afraid of progress. So even though I'm not an avid AI user, I'm not against it either. But it had me thinking, what if I were to spend a week with AI in all its forms? Use Claude, use Higgsfield, and if something else struck my fancy, use that too. The only limit was to keep it under a reasonable dollar amount because, well, that should be obvious. My goal was also not to go broke on an experiment because that would be dumb. So, what would happen if I gave myself over to the credit system of creation, forced myself to go through all of the confusion that comes with starting from zero? Would I be able to figure it out in a week without going broke? And more importantly, would learning how to use it potentially change my mind and my life? And realistically, would it make me a better filmmaker? I'm always for learning new things. So, did it change my life? Not really. Well, maybe a little. So what did I use? And how did I use it? I did invest in Claude since it seems to be the latest and greatest LLM to initiate some of my research. I asked it questions and suggestions on where to go and what to use. So for Claude, I used the middle tier of $20 a month option. The rationale is that I could just keep it as realistically as possible for your average filmmaker on a budget that was just looking to create a side project. I also used YouTube and did some simple searches to help my research on the best filmmaking generator. And I finally landed on Higgsfield, which just seemed to give you all of the options that you would need in one spot for an experiment like this. So I signed up for Higgsfield Ultra for $129. And again, that was the middle option. I was tempted to go for more, but sometimes you gotta think like a producer. So Ultra it was. Finally, and have something to compare Higgsfield with, I discovered another filmmaking tool called Utopai. And this was probably the best deal hands down for a filmmaker, because not only did it give you 500 credits to start, but the character analysis tool and storyboarding tools that come with it cost exactly $0 to use. So of course, I added $100 extra, which turned out to be around 10,500 credits. But like I said, this would turn out to be the most massive bang for buck around, but more on that later. In total, that was roughly $250 spent. If I was super creative, I could probably film a scene for about $250, but it would be pretty bare bones. So this is where I was at the end of day one. Of course, my next question as a filmmaker was, could AI read a screenplay? And I had a few screenplays lying around from past couple of years with no time to make them. I had seen some impressive examples online of things that AI could do, but I still don't know what AI could do for me. The last thing I wanted to do was take a bunch of loose ideas and make a talking baby Trump. But I wanted to take a screenplay and spit out something that looked like art. So how long would that take? How much would that cost? And how many iterations would I have to go through before I had something usable? The answer is not as many iterations as you think, but it's a lot more time than you might have. Let me explain. First of all, there's really nothing out there that just takes your screenplay that you might have written in Final Draft and just imports it. So in Higgsfield, you have to use the Higgsfield Cinema Studio AI director to help you recreate your script and turn your written material into prompts and dialogue and cuts, and it works okay. Let's walk through this really quick. In the Cinema Studio tab, you have a little bit of work to do, like create elements. The more you create, the better your results. Maybe. But as you click and make each new element, you basically realize that it can get pretty deep. Everything from exact locations, to prompts, to clothing and characters could be created using the tools in Higgsfield and stored in the elements. Once you're satisfied, then you go into your projects section and using the AI director, you start adding your script elements and link them to your studio elements. The AI will then help with the prompts and language. Bit of advice, make changes once you apply the prompts, so read the prompt carefully before you generate a video. I know you're probably wondering if you even need the AI director's help, but if you're starting out, yes. the AI director will help you. It's extremely helpful, but not perfect. But if you're starting from zero, this saves a ton of time. Know this before, you're going to make mistakes, and mistakes will burn up credits. And there's no way of knowing how to generate a scene or regenerate a scene that didn't work until you see it do something wrong. And that will burn up your time too. This process is the same for basically everything in the AI world. You will need to go into it knowing that it's a lot of pre-production before you can even begin generating one frame of video. And then it's a lot of mistakes before you have anything usable. And even then, it's also likely that you might have to steal from a bunch of broken takes to make one usable scene. And again, that's the process. Think of this like the new way to edit videos. Oh Lord, that is depressing. Anyway, here are the clips that Cinema Studio created, and this is how the finished video looked.
I wasn't sure how to dress. I'm sorry I was late. How did you want me to dress?
Maybe less like an interview and more like a jailbreak.
Come on, show it to me. I need to see it before I can tell you how much.
It looks like the older model. You're lucky you don't have the upgrade. That one actually fused nanomines into your DNA.
This burned up about 82% of my credits. The Ultra plan is not enough credits for a movie, not even a short. And I doubt Hollywood is going to break down any doors after seeing this. But while I was making this video, I did start to see the potential that I didn't see before starting this. And it's not in generating video for a short. It was creating all the other things that might be useful for a YouTube video, like making a thumbnail, or a lower third, or creating transitional material. Now this is where this could totally shine. Imagine you created a transition for your background, or maybe B-roll. That's when I was like, this might steal from the market from the stock video websites or something like that. Now I can see it as a way to create videos in some kind of hybrid form, and this is a little bit more exciting speaking strictly as a creator who doesn't mind editing. Okay, so let's talk about the one thing that I think might have the most potential for filmmakers, but not yet. And that's Utopai. This tool was clearly made for filmmakers. And let's talk about some of the features that I loved, starting with the interface. You begin with a similar input ID as Higgsfield and all the others, except remember how I said that you really can't throw your final draft script into AI and get a video? You still can't, but you can copy and paste your script into the website, and then it takes that script and it analyzes it and it comes back with your characters, and it also creates a storyboard. Let me show you. This is the website. You basically start by clicking on a new project. It will ask you to drop your script in the dialog box. And then after a little bit of time, it takes your script and it breaks down the characters and it generates a storyboard. Now, before you get too excited, like you can see here, you will have a ton of corrections. Like it will get confused, create twins, forget how the character was supposed to be dressed, change the name on the name tag to a whole new name. And so you can go through this at a very granular level and attempt to create a story, and the results will still be mixed. And there's a very clear disadvantage to using Utopai AI, and it's this: because you can fix everything you see in your storyboard, and it can still mess up. Let me show you the fever dream it gave me.
What's up, Carl? Got that TPS report? Relax, I was just joking. But seriously, my desk tomorrow morning.
Hello, I am Jamie.
Oh man,
What?
I just realized I have a thing to go to.
What thing?
I have a Bible study with Jamie. You want to go with me? It starts in half an hour.
No, you go ahead. Me and Jesus aren't exactly on speaking terms, especially after last night. Know what I'm saying? You know what? Rain check? Come on! This is Carl.
Bible study is in 30 minutes. You coming? And don't tell me that your phone is low on batteries.
What? No, not my phone, it's my car.
And we said you were going to take this seriously, Carl.
I'm on my way. In fact, I'm already there.
That means you better not be weird when you get here, and don't be redone.
I promise. No weirdness. Look, I will do whatever it takes to get there on time. You have my word.
Clock is ticking.
Clock is ticking.
I heard you! I cannot believe...
I said I heard you the first time.
Clock is ticking.
What?
Sorry. Hey, how much for your bike?
What?
I am gonna be really late to this thing. How much for your bike?
What?
Seriously? It's not for sale.
I'll give you 500 bucks.
Sold. Yeah, ranked going.
Hey, so I did the keep I implies to me thing.
How much you want for my helmet?
Time is ticking.
Hi, heard. You. Almost there. I'm almost there. 2 minutes to spare.
Time is laughing.
Hi, my name is Carl.
Mom, the Mormons are here.
This is weird, isn't it?
Yep.
I loved how this went crazy. It really messed up on the punchlines, what the comedic element was, and what it wasn't. Some of the things were just unintentionally funny and cringe. Like, the main character and the teenage girl at the end weren't supposed to be boyfriend and girlfriend. There was another character that was just a VO in the script, but AI assumed that it was the teen, and so it created this very morally questionable plot. And I laughed, but man. So, if you needed a storyboard though, or you wanted a previs tool, this is a great tool. Your shots are there, your camera angles are there, but what it creates from the storyboards to the video is not even close to the script. But if I'm rooting for anyone in this video, it's Utopai. You hear that? I hope you guys win. For the filmmakers, I'm rooting for you. So what's my verdict on AI as a seasoned editor? I don't know if any of this is there yet. It's clear that someone wants this, but I also believe that all the mass layoffs are completely premature. And even if we get closer, I genuinely believe that all it's going to do is change how editors edit. So if you're an editor, pay attention. You might be using prompts in the near future as a normal part of your process if you aren't already. And I can see why they want this and why they want to use it so badly, and I'm genuinely curious if AI is going to replace someone like writers next, because that's where my degree is. But as it stands, I think we still have some time. And I mean, AI hasn't developed a soul yet either, which I guess is also good. Okay, those are my thoughts. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I'm still trying to monetize the channel, so do all the things. Thumbs up helps, subscribing really helps. And if you're a filmmaker, let me know your thoughts. What do you think? Do you think that AI is going to take our job today, or will it be a little bit longer? Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.